Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Mappening. It is I, Nate. Here we are, live map drawing in this very special April Quarantine Edition. I'm sorry to say we have more than one Quarantine Edition of the Mappening, and there may be several more. We'll see. Hope everyone's doing well. As usual, fashionably late. Sorry, it's always a mad rush around here. I have my kids. It's a beautiful day here in West Michigan. My kids are playing around outside and, just generally romping around the house. My dog is frisky as ever, so we will probably be interrupted. But that's okay. We got our maps. We're good. Hope everyone's doing okay. Life is a little bit nuts right now. Am I right? So, at least we have maps. We can escape to these wonderful places and imagine what life is like here in the world of... I don't know. We'll figure it out. I've got a couple ideas written up there, actually. Feel free to grab your pen or pencil and doodle along, or just, chill on your couch and spend a nice leisurely Sunday afternoon dozing, just as I used to do when I was a kid with Bob Ross, man. Put on some Bob Ross on a Sunday afternoon on PBS and just fall asleep in the sunlight coming through the window as I'm laying on the couch. It's either that or golf to fall asleep to, right? I preferred Bob Ross. I've never been a big golfer. All right. Let's see. Here we are. A ton of people in the chat. Welcome, everybody. Thanks so much for being here. Today we're going to be working on a map. This is kind of a special one because there's a mapping contest going on right now on the Discord server. There is a link to the Discord server in the video description. You just click show more and you'll see a bunch of links that I always have there. And one of those links is the Discord server. There's a contest going on right now. And that is going to be due. Let's see. The next contest is due. Started about a week ago, and I think it's due in about 2 weeks. Okay, so you got about 2 more weeks if you want to join in, and it doesn't have to be anything crazy elaborate. Often we don't get tons of entries. I think our last one was a tavern map. Didn't get a ton of entries, so you have a good chance of winning. The winner will get, it's not huge, but it's a $10 drive-through RPG gift card that I am donating to the cause, and it's a little something. So. And more than that, it's a great community event, and you get bragging rights and stuff like that. So check it out over on the Discord server. There are full rules over there. I think let's see, if you go to the Discord server, link in the description, you will see under the maps section, you will see mapping contest info, mapping contest. Well, I'll just show you over here. Let's just go to the Discord server here. Is this like a faux pas? Am I not supposed to be doing this? So this is the contest right here. The goal, thank you to Sarah Shoehorn and the other Knights of Calculated Idiocy for running this. Big graveyard area. I don't know. Sorry. This is the rules of the contest. Pretty much anything goes. Just be transparent if you do use like Incarnate or something like that. Just maybe cite the tool you're using. That's always appreciated. But this is the basic outline, and then this was my example that we're going to be elaborating on today of how you could still stick to the basic shape, but, tweak it a little bit. Other people have chosen to make these shapes lakes. They don't have to be land masses. They could even be city walls or whatever, right? But use these basic shapes and take some liberties if you'd like to. The other thing is you can absolutely add lots of islands. You could turn the page into portrait mode if you would rather. There's lots of options there, so... Yeah. Cool. All right. And yeah, I've gotten the thought that these kind of look like beans, which is appropriate given the use of beans on the channel from time to time for maps. So, hey, it's cool. All right. Where are you guys from? Where's everybody from, huh? How's everybody doing? I would love to hear where you're watching from today. I think I saw a little bit of that already. Got my LaCroix, 0 calorie, 0 sweetener here that I have cooling off in some ice because I didn't have any cold beer right now, and it's something to drink. It's the Kurate, so it's slightly more flavor than regular LaCroix, right? If LaCroix is like, well, the ghost of a fruit once haunted this can, This is a little bit more like, I don't know, if that's 5%, this is 15. Might even be more like 30%. I don't know. All right. Oh, we got Netherlands in the house. We've got Florida. We've got Russia. Quite a few Netherlands. Let's see. Illinois, Germany, Poland. Yes, we got the Europeans in the house today on this Sunday afternoon here in the U.S. That's one of the reasons I wanted to do it here for all you European viewers. Wanted to make it a more convenient time than that last late Friday night. It would have been 4 a.m. for you. So Kentucky, Massachusetts. I'm sorry, I'm missing tons of them because there's 100-something of you. But yes, UK, Canada, San Francisco, Arizona, Ohio, Poland again, Washington, Ireland. Very good. Very good. Azerbaijan. Oh, all right. Yeah, Lithuania. Cool. France. Got to get back to France someday. I've only been there once, and it was awesome. All right. Well, that LaCroix doing a number on me. Hope I'm not getting sick. So the first thing, I got to address some of the comments. Yes, there's a split river on this map. Maybe I'm trolling people a little bit with that one, but I have people often commenting on that. And my dog is a beagle mix, Snowtail. She's like a fawn-colored beagle and howls a lot. But this whole when people see me criticizing, maybe not criticizing. The last Nate Critiques video, I did point out several people who had river bifurcation, rivers splitting. And I just said, I'm not saying it can't be there, just saying, that's rare in reality. So just want to make sure you're aware of that. It doesn't happen very often because a lot of people aren't aware of that. But it does happen naturally, and it certainly does happen also with man-made situations. So I thought, you know what? Let's just throw one of those in here because I haven't done one. And it does happen in nature, dang it. All right. Cool. So... yeah, it's not a delta. That's not my intent. A delta is often, I can't show you my dog, sorry. She's 8 rooms away. I have a big house. I'm hiding down here in the dungeon. A delta would be probably, it would be hard to make the case that this is a delta. But it would be doable. This could be a bay, essentially. And then there could be silt deposits and things like that all in the bay, filling the bay, sort of. And that's kind of what a delta is. It's almost like it's actually a body of water because the land is usually just kind of moving around so much, being shifted, and the water is just kind of pushing it in different ways, depending on the time of year, depending on, different now than it will be 10 years from now, etc. At least that's my understanding. So anyway, decided to do a little river split there, see if anyone said anything. So I started this last week on the Patreon stream, which I do once a week. If you want to get access to those, check it out over on patreon.com/WASD20. Started it then, so I've put in about, less than an hour, I would say, into this on the Patreon stream. And want to work on that a little bit more today. Trying out some new styles. One thing you notice is that I am trying a, yes, this is Photoshop, and this is, I use a Wacom Cintiq, which is a big old expensive device. Certainly don't need anything like this. Feel free to just grab your paper and pen, but this is how I'm working this time. But I won't be doing anything that you would not be able to do with paper and pencil today. I'm not going to be getting into color and parchment effects and stuff like that. Just trying to keep it simple, black and white. All right. I don't know what that word is. Kadrunu. Sorry. I usually don't respond when people say, "Tell me this thing," or "Say this thing, please." Yeah. All right. So let's continue here. One thing that I started doing, and I realized I don't know if I like it that much actually, is kind of chipping away at some of the black in here. And you can see that this is a little more clean. And I think I do like the clean a little more. It gives it the more detail when I do it this way. But I think I just want to fill those in. I just want to make it a little cleaner, a little more kind of dual tone, just black and white. not kind of the in-between sketchiness. So I'm going to fill those in right now. That's just one thing as I'm getting the grand view, that's what I'm doing. Okay, so, and again, this is the mapping contest, so, go grab that that contest info and sketch something yourself. And if, even if you only have 30 minutes between now and, 2 weeks from now, hey, you can do something, right? Just draw something. Have fun with it. Challenge yourself. Okay. Let's see. Drawing. And I'm sorry, since I'm drawing here, I'm not going to be super caught up in the chat, but, chat amongst yourselves, and I'll chime in from time to time. Let's see. Oh, we got 199 viewers. Whoop, whoop. Feel free to share the link on social media and invite your friends. I also tweeted it out myself, and you can feel free to retweet that. If you're not following me on Twitter, that's probably the best place for announcements. It's just super quick and easy for me. Twitter. I am also on Instagram and Facebook, but Twitter is my most frequent platform these days for getting the word out. So I don't know how far we'll get here today. Maybe we'll finish it. I plan to stream for about hour to hour and a half, hour 15 minutes. We'll see. See how things go. See how long the chaos of my home life how long my door and mental health can withstand the chaos of the house all around me. 3 children running around who've been quarantined for far too long. Thank you, Patrick, for being my enforcer here today. Feel free to kick people if I'm also gonna actually, you know what we're gonna do? Gonna add another moderator too. There you go, Michael. You're a moderator too. Help Patrick out if you want. All right. At least I think he is. All right. Thanks, big thanks to all the moderators on the Discord server too. It's really helpful to have just an active and involved community, as I can't be everywhere at once. So this is, yes, a different method. So one of the things you notice about this style is I'm trying to keep a clean space between the lines, so that I'm not, my shading, for example, is not going in here. So this is very different from what I normally do. I was partially inspired for this. This right here, it looks fine, totally fine. Just trying something new. So again, this space that I'm leaving right there, it's hard to circle that because I have black, but I think you can see what I mean. That is, something that is going to be a challenge to kind of, keep my pen away from that. But it gives it this nice clean look. So, we'll see how it goes. All right. I decided not to do the music this time, just because, I don't know, it's just another thing to fuss with. Wanted to keep it simple. But I wonder if my playlist is public. I wonder if I can share my playlist, actually. Let's see if it'll let me. Share. Oh, copy playlist link. Look at this, guys. If you want to listen to the mapping playlist, it's mostly Alexander Nakarada, who I support on Patreon. I think it might all be his song, so I have the rights to use that. So that's why I put that stuff. But I've been loving. Here's what I've been listening to lately. I've been playing a lot of Divinity Original Sin 2, I should say, and that soundtrack. Oh, that's been going through my head a lot lately. And I'll finish playing for a while, and then I'll go upstairs and listen to the music while I'm doing some dishes or something. It's cool. Great soundtrack. Yeah, for those of you who do have like lots of questions and want to see things, I do honor patron requests more. That's just kind of the nature of the game here as I try to support my family with this whole RPG and mapping life. So yeah, as Michael noted, feel free to check that out. And absolutely, often the videos I get are patron requests. The videos I do start as patron requests, and a lot of those ideas are formulated in those weekly live map drawing streams, which there's one tomorrow night for all you patrons in the room. I'll be posting on the Patreon page tomorrow night for that. All right, so, but man, I feel for those of you who are struggling right now. There's lots of reasons people are struggling, but especially the livelihood being hurt thing. You business owners, all of you, it's tough. I feel for you. Hope you're doing okay. Hope you're fine and piecing things together and able to meet your needs. Okay, so feeling pretty good. I'm gonna kind of like extend this out a little bit so we get a little dollop of craziness out there. Let's check this out here. So you also might notice the shape of these mountains is much more like steep and kind of, overall I'm going with a more cartoony look on this map. I'm just trying different styles. So yeah. I saw someone asking how's teaching's going. It's going okay. I got students who are struggling just as I can kind of struggle a bit too, to be disciplined. It's hard when I'm home and lots of distractions. So I'm behind on my grading, but it's going, It's going. Fellow teachers out there, you know what I mean. So my school is a private school, and we have, I messed up a little bit. I got a little too close to that one. My school is a private school, and we have one-to-one computers. All students have computers, and like 99.99%, every student, as far as I know, has internet access at home in some form, sometimes less reliable than others. And maybe that's, not everyone's reporting that they actually do have access problems. But so we're in that position. So we carry on business as usual to some extent. Not like a lot of the public schools around here, which are basically saying like, hey, you can do these things if you want to. We're giving you some work and maybe you can do it. No, we're like expecting kids to do work still. So for me, I'm still, quite busy. So I think these are a little too close here. I gotta get my erasure. So partially I was inspired for this style by the Forbidden Lands, the black and white Forbidden Lands map. There's two Forbidden Lands maps. I don't have the book near me right now, but yeah, that was my original inspiration. But their style is pretty different. It's much more sketchy and sharp mountains. So I'm just trying to, I wanted to try a new shape and wanted to try a new shading style. So I don't know where I got inspired by the shape or for the shape, but just started drawing things and decided a little bit more of a cartoony, exaggerated feel might be cool to try. I'm gonna extend this out here. Okay, cool. So I think on the next continent we'll go over and we'll actually draw some mountains so you can see me doing the mountain shapes too. No, Preston, not all schools are expecting work done. Because honestly, here in the U.S., there are especially, there are families with all kinds of interesting situations, and some of the public schools, my understanding is it's kind of like, we hope you'll do some work, but we can't make you because you might not have internet access, and you might not have a device that even if you do have internet access, you might be, your family's computer is a cell phone, and so no, not all, especially public schools, are requiring kids to keep on working right now. It's my understanding. Things might have changed. Maybe you know more than me. Actually, you know what? No, now that you're mentioning it, I think that was the initial thing was kind of like, that's how it was. But now that it's officially off for the rest of the school year, no more gathering at schools, I do kind of wonder. I have heard things that public schools are starting to say, like, well, we got to have you guys do something. So maybe you're right. I don't know. So this is Photoshop, Harry. I use Photoshop. If you don't have Photoshop, there's this paper stuff that works pretty well, I've heard. I did the last mapping on paper. I still have that map actually right here. Zoom. If you guys weren't here last month, let me make this bigger. Kind of hard to see in my lighting, but that was a fun one. I think I finished it after the stream. I don't know if I finished it on stream. Spent some time with that. Look at that ship down there. Ooh, that was fun. Part of this contest, too, is going to be basically a third of the scoring is going to be a compass rose. So maybe we'll sketch out some compass roses today and try to get a little creative with that as well. We'll see. See what happens. Those of you just joining, welcome. Glad you're here. This is not Izora, although it is two continents, that are not too incredibly different. It's kind of one of my favorite continent sort of shapes is, two large land masses side by side. And a lot of people, when you see a landmass like that, what world do you think of? I'll tell you what world I think of in a second. Okay, so I'm trying to just play around with how thick were those lines? Because I feel like my lines are a little too thin at first. Gotta get parity with my last shape. Let's get about a size 9 brush. Let's try that. I think that's better. I think that'll get me closer. So my line gets thicker the harder I press, but I want to get something that feels natural. Okay, so I hear Game of Thrones. Yeah. I hear good things about Krita, Thomas. I have not used it myself, but I've been meaning to check it out for a while. I started playing D&D at the age of about 33. At the time I started the channel, which originally the channel was just, let me document my journey into this weird hobby that I know nothing about. And then after a while it turned into like, hey, I think I get this. Maybe I can help other people who were like me, because I struggled. There were like character creation. Whew, that was tough. Getting the rules, DMing, like these were challenging things for me. So I decided pretty early on, like, okay, I've got it now. Maybe I can help other people. Back then I used to do PC games too. Back in the day. All right, let's get a little sketchy layer here so I can just kind of plot some stuff out here. And I'll call this sketch, and we'll make it very opaque or very transparent so that I can just play around with some things. So if our mountains are going to be right here, let's say, let's just have them going further. Let's have them going right here. Okay. And then let's zoom out here and just kind of get a grander view. So the one I was thinking of, the maps, was Warcraft. Yeah, I see someone mentioned it. Dr. Spaghetti. That's what I was thinking of. Maybe some of you others. Critical Masterpiece. Yes. Yeah. There's probably several others. So sorry if I'm not crediting you, but yes, that's what I was thinking. Azeroth, and is there? I don't remember. I just remember the Warcraft map. I know Azeroth is one of them, but yeah. I have used GIMP, and I like it. Yes, I would not say Tones the Geek, the river is splitting in the wrong direction. It is river bifurcation, which happens. It's rare, but it happens. Okay, and I decided to be a rebel on this one. Maybe I'll pay for that. Okay. So basically all I did was kind of plot in where I want the the mountains, and then maybe we can go ahead with our sketch 2 and just do a few like forest areas. So yeah, we'll do this is a forest right here. Let's go closer to the contour of the river. All right. And I think maybe what we'll do is make this pretty barren down here. Maybe we'll do one of those like the south is actually the colder area. So that sort of thing. The polar region is further to the south on this map. And let's do some forest right here. And we'll do a little more right here as well. And here. We'll go up here. Okay. Cool. And then we're going to do some other unique things on this map. Again, I'm going for a bit more of a cartoony style. I'm challenging myself. That's what I often do. Ooh, good question for a Nate video. I missed it. What program do you use to show yourself against the background? I just use OBS to broadcast. That's what a lot of streamers use. OBS. I use it to record some videos too. And then, yeah, I have a green screen. All right. OBS Studio, to be exact. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be doing some, like, we're going to do a Wizard's Tower. And it's going to be up on here. And it's going to be all huge and, like, kind of cartoony looking. I don't know if I'll be able to pull it off, but I'm trying it. Okay. So Wizard's Tower up there. Let's kind of plot in some other things here. We need like a big fortress, so we'll do a big fortress like right here. Okay. Something I was playing with on another map I was doing recently too is just kind of like a little more of an illustrative style. It's something I want to get better at actually drawing, not just like cartography and mapping. So yeah. Yep, there's an undo button. I also have an eraser, so it's just, you know, it's a digital drawing program. 19 so yeah, there that would let's see, this is, who was that? Der Schinken. That would probably be difficult for most computers. We'll just say that. My computer could do it. It would definitely slow things down, especially if I was streaming at that resolution right now. It would be challenging. I think actually I want to make this more like desert right here, and then we'll do some like forest down here. So I'm just going to write in here again. This is kind of like sketching. This is my sketchy layer. Plotting things out, doing some planning, which I don't normally do. A little bit of a desert area there, and then some forest in here. And actually, no. What I decided I want to do, we're going to make a forest right here. Okay. I want to make a city right in the split here. Okay. That might be challenging given the more illustrative style, but we'll see. Maybe I'll give up on it. Okay, and then, you know, we'll do a town or something right here. Another one right here. Perhaps we'll have like some kind of wall. Can we do a wall? Sure. A wall right here to defend from the invaders. This is like some kind of elite kingdom here, or perhaps it's like the wall in the north in Game of Thrones. Who knows? But I'm just sketching ideas in here. Again, much more of an illustrative style than I normally roll with. Let's see. Get caught up on the chat a little bit here. I know I'm sorry. I'm just missing lots of things. Patrick, thank you. Save. Patrick is my save maestro. He reminds me of things I like saving. Yeah, I actually, you know, speaking of the OBS, going back to the OBS question, I actually do have a channel. I have another YouTube channel. It's called Tech Teacher Nate, and I don't advertise that very often, but I do like iMovie tutorials and stuff like that. And it started as something I used to do for my job, but I started adding to it because it's been pretty successful. Not as successful as WASD 20. I have a tutorial how to do green screen in OBS. It's about 3 or 4 years old, and it's probably pretty shoddy quality, but it's there. I've learned a lot more since then. We'll just say that. Okay. I've got some plans, and I think we're gonna draw some things now. Da, 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 da. Oh, a ravine. Sure, we can do a ravine. Yeah. Yeah, so we'll just do like a cliff sort of area here, and maybe like, yeah, something like that kind of. There we go. And yeah, I was also quite inspired recently by the Dead Man's Guide to Dragon Grin map. Just having kind of that more illustrative style. That's something I actually started working on, the Dragon Grin map for them. And then me and Tim pretty quickly came to the realization, like, I think the style you're going for is not something that I'm capable of. And so we, very amicably said, okay, like, no hard feelings at all. Like, yeah, you can search for someone who better does this style that you're going for. And he did. John Pintar is an amazing artist. And yeah. So I love the Dragon Grin map. If you haven't checked that out yet, they have a free PDF. There's a link. I have an affiliate link, actually. Got to deal with them. They're good friends of mine, and I try to help promote their stuff, and they throw me a bone, a percentage. So there's an affiliate link in the description, I believe, for Absolute Tabletop. And they have a free PDF of their Dragon Grin player version. And it's like 100 pages for free. Great setting. Really cool stuff. I'll be playing in a game on Jasper's Game Day with them. That Tim is running. I'm going to knock this down a little bit more here, and then we can kind of sketch in some of these things. That'll be on May 6th, I believe. Let me just see. Tuesday, May 5. Cinco de Mayo. Goodbye, Preston. Cinco de Mayo game. And so 5th of May, it will be on Tabletop Terrors. But check out Jasper's Game Day's website for the full schedule, all the games. Some pretty cool. It's for a charity event. It is for the cause is suicide prevention, which is an extremely worthy cause. So recommend you check Jasper's Game Day out. Just Google it and you'll find their website. Okay, so this tree style, I got to start in the front. Nate, don't forget. You got to start in the front. Oh, you know what? See, I'm so ADD and I get distracted by the chat and stuff. I'm going to finish the mountains first. Okay, so let's do that. So my style, pretty steep overall, but I do have some kind of here and there a little more of a smaller peak, right? But overall, we're going pretty steep and not a whole lot of variation. Not very jagged, kind of a smooth swooping style. Yep, again, just trying a new style. So we'll see how it goes here, and I should start those in the front too. Oh. That's a real steep one. It looks a little ridiculous, but I'm okay with it. I'm going to roll with it. And I kind of like to, I'm going to zoom in a bit. I kind of like to get these lines kind of going out like that a little bit too. Been digging that recently. Don't remember who does that I'm copying, but I'm sure it's somebody, because that's the way almost all my techniques. Sometimes I do things and I don't know it's inspired by something. I think you've probably had that too, but you realize later, oh, it's clearly inspired by this other thing. I don't get too into like trying to be so original. I don't. Someone pointed out my world building video from Friday. Oh, you mean like this thing? And it's like, you're right. The thing that I created is almost exactly like that thing from Elder Scrolls. And I didn't realize it. I never heard of the thing, actually. I've played, half of the Elder Scrolls games. But it's like, oh, I didn't know that thing existed. But yeah, my thing is a lot like that, and that's okay with me. I think people sometimes think oh, someone else has done that, I can't do it. It's like, nah. Just create. Go nuts. Welcome back, Preston. Archwizard's Dream, you're lucky you noticed it was Mappening, you mean? Sorry. Okay. So, but yeah, if you want to share what you're working on at any point during the stream, feel free to go on over to the Maps channel on WASD20 and on the Discord server, and post it. Put that hashtag Mappening in. Make sure you spell it right this time, people. This fake word that I made up, because I will probably head over there and search for Mappening later at some point. Take a break from what I'm doing to show some of what you're working on. If you're also working on a map, that'd be cool. Don't go over there and post your, picture of your dog so much and stuff like that. Let's focus on the map. Saw something about the dotted lines. Yes, I think Tolkien does a lot of that, Archwizard's Dream. Yes, you are cool. Or you are correct. I was reading Michael's message above it that said the word cool. Brain mush. Oh, it says YouTube is not receiving enough data, so sorry if I'm getting choppy at all. Hopefully things improve. It's not too choppy. Choppy. Yeah, Tolkien does this. He'll do this sort of thing, where it's just like young age, I believe. I mean, probably early 20s, not maybe late teens, but I don't remember. I could be off on that. You notice the lines for this are pretty uneven. It's thinner up here, the coastline, and this is really thick here. And that's okay, I guess. But maybe I want to thin it out a tad bit here. It kind of sticks with a little bit more of a cartoony style. So some nice bold lines. Whether a coastline's shape is geologically plausible, I don't concern myself with it too much. They're Hot Sauce Bear. I just kind of draw what looks good and what looks natural to me. It's a pretty vague answer, but that's a lot of art. And maybe you could say, well, this is not art, this is science. Cartography does have an element of science, absolutely. I don't treat it that way. I tend more toward the artistic side of cartography than I do the scientific side of it. I'm not a true cartographer. In the someone who goes to school for cartography sense. Just a dude what likes to doodle maps. If that makes me a cartographer, then I'm happy to be a cartographer. I was watching your overhead camera tips. No, there's one on Teacher Nate YouTube channel. I actually don't do it that way anymore. For the overhead stuff, I actually got a microphone boom, and I got that idea from a couple people, but the one who finally pushed me over the edge into doing it was Jake Norman over at Mini Terrain Domain. And so I was like, that's what I do now, and it's working a lot better for me. And I said, I'm going to try it too. And sure enough, it does work nicely. I get a microphone boom, and then they sell these adapters that you can use to get this big old arm going across and camera pointing down. So that's what I did last time. I have 2 of them now. I use them for lights too. Matter of fact, I got one right here. Oh, can you guys see the craziness of my office? Probably not. Anyway, I have a light on one, and then I've also got a microphone on one right there. Sorry, motion sickness. Okay. good? Are we good? I think we're good. Okay. All right. Oh, that's too pointy. See, that's inconsistent with the rest of them. So we're going to get rid of it. I also feel like it's a little too like uniform and in a row here. And I'm not really liking that. So let's have a break kind of in here. And let's do a mountain right here. And then let's maybe just not have any right here. It's a pass. Okay, there's a mountain pass there. And we'll do one right here too. Okay. Because yeah, this right here is bugging me too. Sometimes when you have the slope of a mountain that like perfectly hits the peak of a mountain, for some reason, it really bugs me. This one kind of does it right here too, but it doesn't bug me as much on that one. So let's, what we could do is just get rid of that mountain. If we're feeling like it's a little too much like in a row, and just not liking the orderly fashion of that, let's just break it there and do that. Still pretty in a row, but yeah. Okay. Let's zoom out a bit here. Boundaries on maps. Thank you, Patrick. So I have done them a number of ways. I did do one recently where I did different color shaded regions. So yeah, if we were to take this and then we can get like a new layer and then go call it like regions. Then I would go in here and I would just we'll bring the opacity down a lot and then just go in here. So this is kind of like the National Geographic style. This is one way. If you're using color, it works quite well. You could do watercolor as well if you're not a digital type. But yeah, you know, this is our region here. Go and do that. And then you have a little break between the next region. So I did that that recently on a map. It felt a little bit unnatural to me, and it was like, okay, but I was trying something new. My client wanted really distinct border regions. I don't normally do borders, but yeah, I think I saw someone mention dotted lines earlier, and then, you know, you would come in here and say, well, the next region is going to be this color. And there we go. Now we do this right over here. So that is a pretty good way to do it. That tends to create, for my maps, a little more distinction than I want between regions, because usually I'm drawing a pretty low tech level society, medieval sort of fantasy, or, you know, even like Bronze Age, or, you know, I don't know, not super advanced and super organized in terms of government and politically. So I do often, have a little bit of a lighter style preferred. And so some of the things you could do there would be just drawing some, like, you could get these gray brush pens that I actually have in my Amazon storefront. I believe you go to the Amazon storefront in the video description. I do have these linked there. These Koi Sakura brush pens, they're gray. And you could just do a simple gray line that we would just do like that there. Okay. Yeah, and you can just do those around, you know, maybe a little nicer looking than what I'm doing them. And then yeah, there are lots of other ways. The problem with dotted lines is that I have a lot of roads usually. Well, I don't always. Yeah, so it's just a problem of distinguishing between roads and borders. But if you have a key or a legend, that helps. And if you're doing roads as dashed lines and borders as dotted lines, you know, just making sure they look different enough that it's easy to distinguish. So those are a couple others. Or could even do like double lines. So if we go back to my main layer here, I could just go like, well, my roads are dotted lines, and then my borders are, you know, more like double lines there. Again, not super neat and tidy here as I'm just spitballing a bit, but something like that you can do. Yep. Good question. Thank you, Patrick, for bringing it to my attention. Incarnate, I prefer Wonder Draft. Last I tried it, but I haven't tried Wonder Draft in a long time, and Incarnate has come a long way. So it is nice to have that one-time purchase model that Wonder Draft has, where you buy it for $30 and you own it for all eternity. But I subscribe to World Amble. I could probably get a free one if I really asked, but I like to support them. They're a sponsor of mine, and I just find it a really valuable tool. So, I pay $40 a year for that. So I don't blame companies. I know some people are just like, subscription model. And it's like, no, I don't like that Photoshop moved that way. They're a big company. I feel like it puts a little sour taste in my mouth a bit more when it's a big company like that, but I still buy it. But especially for smaller companies like World Amble or Dungeon Fog or Incarnate, these people got to make a living, and they're continuing to support and update this, and it's a valuable service. So I don't blame them for going to the subscription models, or in Wonder Draft's, or in Incarnate's case, not going to. They've always been that. Same with Dungeon Fog and World Amble. Okay, so I'm noticing that these mountain lines are much thicker than the ones over here. So we got to go make them a little thicker. Okay, we got to do it. Sorry, guys. And this one right here is just not shaped right. Man, I feel like I'm being super unproductive as I'm chatting and taking questions, but that's okay. I'm having a good time, and that's what matters. So I appreciate the conversation and getting to visit with y'all. But don't take me for the model of efficiency and getting a lot of work done here. Okay? Don't blame me, please. Please don't hate me for just being chatty. I have not yet tried Dungeon Draft. I think that's from the Wonder Draft folks, and I've been wanting to check that out as well. Yeah, so this one is now bugging me more than it was before, and I kind of mentioned that problem of a slope line running right into the peak of another mountain, and I don't like it in general. That's a little better. See, now it's just a little bit off, and that's I can handle it. I can handle it now. All right. Anyone been watching A Letter from the King on Netflix? I am on episode maybe 4. So far, a bit disappointed, and just kind of like, I guess, it's a little more like kid-friendly in a way. I guess you could I would feel pretty okay, honestly, with my my 10-year-old watching what I've seen of it so far. So it's got that, but I guess I was kind of disappointed by that, honestly. A little bit more gritty realism. I don't need Game of Thrones level in all my shows. That was a bit much at times, if I'm honest. Yeah. So yeah, but I'm only 3 episodes in. I'll be starting the 4th episode if I watch it tonight. Snowtail disappointed too. Yeah. It's cool that we're getting more fantasy stuff, right? It's cool that we're getting more fantasy stuff. I appreciate that. My dog is just howling right there. Hey, maybe we can see her, guys. Should we spy on my dog out the window? Sorry if I'm giving you the crotch shot right now. Nope, can't see her at all. I'm in a pit down here in the basement. Got a little pit of a window that's not letting me see anything. Okay. So now, I still feel like we need them a little thicker. What really helps me actually when I'm working in Photoshop is if I paste a mountain or a couple mountains from the range on the other continent, then I can more easily just try to match what's right next to it. I've kind of messed up here and got a little too zoomed in on this one, so I missed the style of the other one. Could also zoom out, but then I sometimes have a hard time getting them nice looking. So, what would be a reasonable price for such a map like this map? Oh man. So I used to charge $30 an hour. Now I charge about $50 an hour, but it totally depends. People, there's a wide variety. You can probably find someone who will draw you a map for $50, and that used to be me, but it is not anymore. I'm too busy and have too many other things going on, especially the videos. So when I do spend time drawing a map, I want to make sure it's worth my while in terms of helping me support my family and helping me, one of the reasons I will do maps is so that I don't feel like I have to grind as much on YouTube necessarily. I want it to be able to provide a little financial cushion. I started doing it for the love, but when money entered the equation, I got greedy and I'm just kidding. But yeah, it is a grind working on maps. I very quickly I've been burnt out a couple different seasons, so yeah. Okay. Yeah. I will say, Aubrey, since I started charging that, I actually haven't taken any commissions. I have not accepted a new map commission in over a year. But that's what I'm telling people now, and I haven't had any takers yet, and I'm totally okay with that. That is what it is worth for me. Yeah. It's what it's worth. And if I don't ever have a map commission again, honestly, I like drawing maps, and I'll keep doing stuff like this, and I'll have fun, and that's fine. But I started charging $30 an hour. That's where I've been for a long time. And other people who really want to draw maps for other people, yeah, then it depends how bad you want it. Do you want a map commission this month, or else you're going to be really disappointed? Then you're probably going to have to quote a little lower. But yeah, that's where I'm at. Well, you say sell your maps there, Liam, but that's not what I do. I don't just say, here, do you want a map? I made this one. You can buy it, right? I am doing custom commissions, and it usually involves a lot of emailing back and forth, different sketches, and how does this look? Do you like this? And okay, no, we got to revisit that. What style of mountain do you want? Oh, but you said you wanted this. Okay, I misunderstood. So yes, let's. It's. Whew, I've got email chains of 80 plus emails, 100 plus emails from clients, and I will easily spend 20 hours on a single map doing the drawing, and then you add in emails, sometimes a Zoom appointment or two. Some of the maps I've done are pretty monumental undertakings. They might not look like it on the surface, but yeah. I've had maps that have taken me over 6 months. I'm working on one right now that's I finished it probably in about 10 months. And, granted I wasn't working on it real hard, and that's kind of the pace I've been, a couple hours a week here or there. That's why when I go to Devin Rue's page, I used to not understand when her Twitter. She's a great cartographer. I like her. Her Twitter bio says commissions closed, right at the top there. And so it's wow, she's man, she's doing really well if she doesn't take, she's not doing commissions. It's oh man, I see very, very clearly now how that happens, and I've experienced it where it's just nope, I have 10 commissions in the cooker, and that's going to take me over a year. So I'm closed now. I'm not just, yeah. I don't have 10 commissions in the cooker, but yeah. All right, feeling pretty good about these mountains. The shading is mountain shading is just one of my favorite things. It is one of those things that's just oh, that phase is Might be my favorite phase of cartographizing. Letter for the King is okay, but yeah. It's got some. I'm not gonna. I don't plan to stop watching it. I plan to continue watching it. So if I mentioned like it's not gritty and realistic enough for me. It's a little too kid friendly, and I mentioned that like I don't need Game of Thrones level gritty. In fact, I would prefer not. I love Game of Thrones. I enjoyed it. The last few seasons, whatever. Don't need to get into that. But I do. So I'm watching The Last Kingdom right now, and like, yeah, it's not on HBO, so it's not like that level of grit and like blood and sex or whatever, but it still is. It's pretty gritty, right? And I don't know what channel. Is that a History Channel one, or is that an FX, or I'm not sure. But I like it. And something like that, a level of grit, I would kind of prefer from my fantasy. Yeah, and you can make stamps for mountains in Photoshop too. But brushes, you can actually go look for Photoshop brush, cartography brushes. I've thought about making and selling some of my own, but maybe someday. Haven't gotten around to it. Since I like mountains so much, maybe I could just make a mountain set. 20 different mountain styles. What do you think of the Game of Thrones map and world building? I've seen some of the analysis of those, but I honestly don't have much to say about it. Like, yeah, it's fine. It's fine with me. My drawer's sticking out, I just realized. All the pens. Yeah. I've seen some of those videos that like analyze those, and once in a while I'll watch one of those and I learn things, but mostly they hurt my head. I'm too feeble-minded for that. Said the history teacher. Can I be self-deprecating a little bit? I think it's a pretty cool map. I'm sure there are world-building issues with it. But, people will sometimes use Song of Ice and Fire as an example of like, kind of being derivative, and it's, very derivative of a lot of things in the UK and like the War of the Roses and, things like that, actual history and actual geography. And so I just go back to that as an example of, originality is overrated, I think. You can do something that's pretty derivative and it can be excellent. And a lot of people can really enjoy it. Just do what inspires you and what you're inspired by. Feel free to derive some of your stuff from that. But yeah. History teachers are pretty great, Snowtail? Cloud shapes, yeah. Those are a good inspiration for a coastline, or for landmass shapes for sure. Someone mentioned Asgar's fantasy world generator, and while I don't always love the way they come out, exactly, like sometimes there's just like too much like repetition of certain shapes in Asgar's. I definitely enjoy using it for inspiration for a coastline and saying like, oh, I like that general shape, I'll copy that. And it's fairly randomized if you're certain ways you can shape it yourself too, but you can also have it spit out a random looking landmass. And there's Donjon has like a globe generator, world generator, and you can choose to look at it in globe form or map form. So Donjon, DONJON. Just Google it, and it's one of my favorite resources for tons of stuff. And that particular tool, where it generates random like globes and stuff, is super helpful for me just in picking land masses. So if someone's like, I just want a good looking landmass or something like that, like, or if I'm trying to just doodle a new world and I want to start a little inspiration, I'm just not like, the beans are not coming together in a way that I like. Then I often do just go there, find a shape I like, find 4 shapes I like, and smash them all together, whatever. What time we got here? I do want to go over to the Discord channel sometime soon and give people a look at what others are doing. So if you have a map that you're working on right now, feel free to go post over on the Discord, the Maps channel on the Discord server. There's a link to the Discord server in the video description. And in a little bit here, I'll scroll through some of those. I'm sorry I won't be able to get to all of them, but show off a little bit of what people are doing. This one's so narrow here, it's kind of tricky to shade. Like I got a little too close there. All right, there we go. And let's just go down here, so kind of varying the shading a bit. Trying to make the ridge line, if that's what it is, a little jagged and varied. Let's zoom out again and kind of get the grand view here. Coming together. Coming together. All right. I feel like maybe we need a really big mountain right here. What do you guys think? Yep, we do. As I'm looking at the other ones, I'm like, man, those are bigger. So maybe this one will even have a special name, the Matterhorn or something, just a dominant peak. Kind of like when I look at Mount Rainier in Washington, where I'm originally from. It's like, man, thing dominates. Ain't nothing touching it. In the general vicinity, por lo menos. I think I'm happy with that shape, the shading shape. No, I did get just a little too close in here. Ah. Sorry, if I'm giving anyone motion sickness, my apologies. This right here. See that? It's just it. As soon as like one little bit of shading encroaches too closely to another line, it ruins the cleanliness of it all. So, yeah, that could absolutely be a volcano. Yes, Maprenomicon in the house. What's up? Good to see you here, my friend. Prupra as well. Nice to see you. Shout out to some patrons in the house here. Michael Phillips, Patrick Benjamin, Wonderboy 420. I think there were some others too. I'm sorry, I'm missing you. Let's head over to the Discord server a moment and let's see what people are working on, shall we? So if I keep it on my side for a second here just to make sure. All right. So I'm going to search for hashtag Mappening. And yeah, if you posted yours without the hashtag, I'm sorry. And if you misspelled it, then I'm sorry as well. I probably won't be seeing it. Oh, it's taking a while to load. Oh, it gave me the little poopy icon in Discord saying, nope, couldn't load it. But let's try again. The suspense is killing you, isn't it? Okay. Well. Okay. We'll just go in here and, yeah, I'm just going to show off the map channel for a minute. Okay. Uh-oh. Did I lose some things? Here we go. Mappenings. What's people doing? Ooh, very nice. SCB. Yeah. So that's what I'm talking about, getting inspired by coastline shapes like that too. Can be helpful. So what else we got here? Oh, nice. I like those crisp mountain lines there. Sublime Zero. Ooh, man, this is so detailed here, Gran Boyar Pahonia Vitis. Ooh, very nice. I like the little round trees. They're just very satisfying. The ridge lines are really working there, Porcus. Looking good. Oh, wow. That's stippling. You're a madman, Liam. It's good, though. I love that level of detail. Stippling is not, it's no joke. Yeah, Moki Ethan, I'm sorry yours is not loading there. Nice, re-upload because it was too large. Oh, there we go. Yeah, that was the one I was trying to load earlier too. But I like the coastline, super detailed, looking good. Oh, nice. I love the colors there. Oh, yeah, looking good. Tones the Greek. Oh, there's a lot of them. Okay, well, there's not that many more. Yeah, well done, folks. Oh man, this one. Yeah, did that a week ago. T-Punko, it looks good. Ooh, I like this. That's cool. Oh wow, watercolors. Yeah, looking good. Looking really good. I like the, you got two different water colors there, so to speak. Colors of water. There we go. And they both look good. They're both very different. So, but this one on the right, so vibrant, and this one a little more muted. Like, yeah, cool. I dig them. I dig them both. Nice. Land masses, having some frustrations. Yeah, I think it looks good. I mean, I think definitely a little more jaggedness here and there can be good, but if you're not going for that style, don't worry about it. I think it looks good. This looks like a Wonder Draft, maybe? But man, I love those mountains. They just look very chunky and cool. All right, let's get Photoshop back in here. Oh, we got some more. Some more being posted here. Yes, this will work. Yes. Oh, nice. Yep, I love that kind of. It's got a little bit of that like National Geographic style. Oh, let me just show off my whole desktop here. Don't look at my dirty laundry. All right. There we go. All right. Piña fraise. All right. Let's get back to it here. I lost the chat. For some reason, I did the thing where all the windows disappeared. So, get everything back up here. 227 of you crazy people. I love it. 217. I was wrong. Did I say 227? All right. Oh. There we go. All right. Let's zoom back in here and finish up our mountain shading, and then we'll do a little bit of foresting, perhaps, or perhaps some buildings. I don't know. What will inspire me next? That's an eraser. Let's get a pen. Ooh, my foot is asleep. I just realized I hadn't moved my foot in a while, and now it's tingling like mad. It's probably more information than you need right here on the Mappening, but hey. I'm just going to stream of consciousness like I do most things. This one's going to be a little tricky. There's just not much room for shading there. Like if I go even a little bit in there, it's like a little too close. So just not gonna do much there. Oh, my dog is howling. All right. All right, so I'm busy. Gotta talk to Mom, okay? A little munchkin appeared for a moment there. Don't bug me now. One of my little gerblins. Pretty cute. All right. I think we're doing all right there. I'm way behind on the chat, so sorry if I missed a lot of things, but yes, great maps, everybody. Michael, thank you. Yep, link in the video description. Detail about drawing mountains. I don't know. I mean, I have a few videos on it, so sorry. Go watch those, and yeah, I think I've pretty much said everything I have to say in those, but you know, certainly if you have specific questions, feel free to leave them in the comments of those videos, and or head on over to the Discord server and, you know, post some of your mountains. That's a really good way to go, actually. Head over to the Discord server, post some things you've been drawing and say, I'm not happy with this. You know, if you can be specific about what you don't like about it, that helps more. Sometimes you can't. Sometimes it's just like, they don't look good to me. You know, go over to the maps channel there, and there's lots of helpful people there. Unfortunately, I do the Nate critiques thing, but I skip a lot, and I can't get to everyone's maps, and though it pains me, I need some life balance. Okay. Still, you know, I still really try to, like, if people have legitimate questions about, like, certain things, like in my how to play D&D videos and stuff like that, I really still try to respond to all people's questions. And sometimes they're a little too big for me to handle. It's just like, I'm going to hope maybe if I upload it, maybe someone else will answer it. Okay. Let's draw some things, hey? What kind of things, Nate? Well, I don't know. We could do some forests. We could do our tower. Let's do our tower up here. I think I need to merge these layers here. I'm going to do that. Actually, I'm going to keep it separate for now, because the reason I had my coastline on a separate layer is because so I could get rid of everything else and just show people for the mapping contest how I varied the coastline without showing them everything. For my favorite map, I don't know. I really do like the black and white Forbidden Lands map. It's a bit of a hard one to find on the internet. If you search for Forbidden Lands map, you might be able to find it, but I've also come up empty on that at times. But yeah, the color map in there is cool, but it doesn't make my heart sing the way the black and white one does. I also think that's pretty amazing that they did 2 maps for that book. For their game, they had a black and white map and a color map done. It's like, why? But hey, I'll take it. Absolutely. More maps. I'm not complaining. Different artists, like very different styles. So it's kind of cool. I appreciate it. Free League. Joshua, absolutely they are. All right, let's get going here with a tower. So I don't know how to draw a wizard's tower, guys. You know, whenever I draw a tower, I'm afraid it's going to end up looking like a penis. So let's go ahead and look up a wizard's tower. Or, you know where we could go? Behind the green screen. There are magical things behind the green screen. Things like a Jared Blando book. Whew. So this book is one of my favorites, and yeah, there's a link in my Amazon storefront if you click on that in the video description, because it's just it's not a perfect book by any means. I have things that I wish were different in this book, but I often go to this book when I need a little inspiration for some, like, I want to draw a cool looking village, or I need some. My ruins aren't looking good. How can I draw some good ruins? And Jared Blando has stuff like that in here. So, let's see if he's got like a wizard tower. Landmarks. Here we go. So, things like, you know, this. Sorry. Are just cool, right? There's cool things. Or like these. I love these. And look at that. A wizard's tower. Okay? So I'm not going to copy it exactly, but I do find it helpful and inspirational. So we're going to try to do that. All right? That's the secret, okay, Prupra. You have to try to draw a penis, because when you're not trying to, it will end up looking like one. Okay. Sorry if I'm not keeping it kid-friendly enough, folks. Watching with your kids, I apologize. But it's a legitimate art thing, art problem. And, you know, in general, there's a lot of like... oh man, I was trying to draw, you know, it looks just like, you know, Westeros, or it looks just like there's, you know, looks like a face is one that I got so much on my original map drawing series. It's like, sure, I mean, whatever. Like, yeah, I guess. Everything I try to draw is like some natural landmass ends up looking like something. Can you see his nose sticking out there? And like, I guess. Just accept my landmass for what it is, okay? Actually, I got a lot of looks like Europe on that one too. It's like, you know, that was actually a little bit intentional on that. Okay, so let's, you know, oh, what if we did like an Isengard sort of tower, though? What if we did like this sort of thing? And then we like also do like this, though. That's something. But, you know, there's nothing wrong with a good old Google image search either of a wizard's tower. But I'm not going to right now. But that is often what I do. So that's like way too much like an arrow. Yeah. So I think the tower's a bit too skinny to be sticking out that far is probably the issue. And then we can... There. So I think it only looks like on how phallic. I think this is like only a 5 out of 10. Which, as long as I'm, you know, below a 7, I'm pretty good. All right. And I will take a little bit of inspiration from how he does this here. And I think I should maybe do a little bit more on the sketch layer first. Except I can't see my sketch, so let's turn up the opacity a tad bit. Okay, and let's go ahead and erase what I have here for my sketch and work on our new... So we got a pretty decent looking outline. And yes, okay, I'm on the sketch layer. So now we can just go in here and kind of doodle some things that might end up looking good. I'm pretty much copying Jared Blando's here. It's okay. I'm crediting him. I think I want kind of a prominent staircase though. Something like something like that. I don't know. Okay, and then a little like sort of thing there, and a window type things there, and yeah, little line there. Different type of shingle or something up at the peak here. And I don't think we're going to do a flag up there. That'll look a little bit too Disney for me. But it's got a little like if we did a little thing there. No. Keep it simple, Nate. Maybe we can do a little something down here, though, like that. Nope, not that either. Just keeping it simple, just the tower. No other side structures. Okay. So yeah, this is a little more of a cartoony style. You know, it's exaggerated landmark sort of style, and I'm okay with that. It kind of fits, you know, my volcano down there. It's pretty ridiculous, the puffs of smoke above it. I'm just trying to try a different style. Okay. So don't bug me. Stop bugging me. Everyone's like, Nate, you don't need to explain everything. Stop stressing. All right. So let's see if we can get a little bit of a, like a staircase here and there sort of thing. Is it a staircase or is it like kind of a foundation? I don't know. Just roll with it. Yeah, maybe it's just like a built-up foundation sort of thing. Cool. Thanks everyone for hanging out, and here, Michael Phillips and Patrick Benjamin for keeping it all orderly. Appreciate that. Okay, and then just a little bit like that, and let's like make this kind of like darker here. There's some shade under there, and then yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, so I think that's good enough for now. Short of a majestic wizard's tower. And I do feel like maybe I don't like the flatness of the bottom here. Like maybe I need a little curve there, though. Perhaps. Yeah. Okay, let's just walk away and let's get rid of it for, or let's let it sit for now. Get rid of it for now. Nope. Nope. Okay. Let's do some trees, shall we? All right. So the style of tree that I had going here, I can try to kind of mimic it. I think I like it, but it's a little bit too, at places it's not quite clean enough for me. I need a little cleaner to kind of match the just very like crisp, definite line style of the mountains. I don't want something too sketchy, in other words, right? I want something that's just very like kind of bold. So that might be a little too bold there. Let's yeah, just going in here, make our brush a little smaller. We'll go down to size 7. A little bit of rounding, kind of like our mountains had, is good. Yeah, so I'm using a Wacom Cintiq with Photoshop. What I do. Been really, you know, when I got the stimulus check from the government, iPad Pro, and then using Procreate. It's something that I would like to do eventually. One of the main reasons that I've been thinking about going that route is just like this device that I have here, a Wacom Cintiq, is so unportable. I think they have some now that are slightly more portable. It's just a big old beastly thing with like 3 cord, you know, power cord and the AV cord and the USB cord, and it's just like, oh, yeah, I could carry it upstairs and it wouldn't take that long, but I don't have a computer that would run up there. I've got my desktop here, so yeah, my upstairs, my wife's laptop would not do so well with it, I don't think, because Photoshop and this thing do take a little bit of processing power, especially for streaming like this. So anyway, the iPad Pro is something that I've been attracted to, and use Procreate for doing maps, just because of the portability and the ability I would have to, like, you know, keep an eye on my kids rather than being like down here in the basement, like kind of unaware of what's going on in the rest of the house. But I started with the Intuos, yeah, Luke, and that was a good one. Really, there's not gonna be a huge improvement in your maps, I don't think, from Intuos to this, because once you get used to the Intuos, like the big barrier is like, I'm drawing on a thing and I'm seeing what it's doing on the screen. That's the advantage of the Cintiq, but it doesn't take that long to overcome that barrier, I've found. Yeah. I do appreciate being able to just draw on the screen, draw on the display, and I donated it to the school where I work afterwards, to the art department, because they use those. And I thought, if you have a kid who like can't afford one at home or whatever, it was a gift to me from my good friend Barker. He got a Cintiq actually, and then gave me his old one. It was super generous of him, and I could have sold it, but I thought, you know what, I was given this, I'm going to give it away. So now it's getting good use by students, which is cool. But the Intuos Draw is a really interesting cheaper model. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there. Started looking at the chat. Also, these trees are a bit smaller than the other ones, so yeah. Let's make some bigger ones just right in front here, just to kind of like make up for it. There we go. Yeah, so the Intuos Draw is usually in the $70 to $100 range, I believe. Now, COVID prices might be through the roof as people are like working from home more. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of those devices are starting to get kind of sold out, and a lot of the factories that make things are closing down, or had to take a break, slow things down for social distancing purposes. But traditionally, $70 to $100, and you got yourself a start on a digital drawing tablet. And again, it's not that much different than what I'm doing here on this much more expensive device. So, yeah. Game stores that sell miniatures, my local store does not. Yeah, I mean, I go to Ryder's Hobby Shop, and I also have a Galactic Toys here in West Michigan. But, Miniature Market is a good place to shop. I like them. You could also find lots of miniatures. I mean, lots, like a lot, being a large selection. I'm still not communicating myself clearly. You can find big quantities being sold all in one purchase on eBay. There we go. At times, people are just like, I want to sell a bunch of my miniatures. I've thought about selling some of my Bones miniatures that I, still haven't painted from the Kickstarter however many years ago. Just because I got a lot that I probably will never paint. They just don't appeal to me as much. It's like, I don't know if I'll ever use this one. So maybe I'll do that at some point. But other like-minded people do that sort of thing on eBay. So it's worth checking out. Yeah, how are you guys? Hello, Janos from Hungary. Yeah, Hero Forge is great for like, the odd miniature from time to time. You're starting a new campaign and you want to do it right. Spend some bucks on some custom miniatures for your party. Super cool. I saw Jason from Realmsmith, who I'm friends with, post some pictures recently of his party's miniatures. They got Hero Forge as a sponsor for their stream, which is really cool. They're one of my sponsors too. Full disclosure on that. But he actually got the miniatures for his party and initiative trackers for his party, which, they actually like sit on your DM screen, but it's your miniature with a little stand that like over your DM screen, which is super cool. And he like painted them differently. He painted them just kind of like plain with a dry brush just to give them like a quick paint job, and they look so cool. So thought, man, that would be fun to do if I start a new campaign. But the chances of starting a new campaign in terms of face-to-face business Probably not happening anytime soon. This world is one. This is a map for the most recent mapping contest, and I haven't named this world yet. Let's see what time it is here. Ooh, I got to get going. So we should like come up with a couple names here. I wanted to name. Someone mentioned a name that I really liked last time, and I wrote it down in the stream in the last mappening. Where did I write it down? Oh. I'm going to toy with it. I'll keep it in mind. Yes. Getting there. Something I recommend doing, just always having a little paper handy. You hear a cool name, like on a show or just anywhere, in a book, write it down. Saw someone mentioning, critique more maps. Yeah, that will probably be, a few times a year sort of video. So, if you want prompt feedback from me, unfortunately, that will not be a thing. Once in a while, I pop into the maps channel and give some feedback, but there are lots of other great cartographers and world builders over there who give feedback too. So hop on over to the Discord and post your map, and yep. That'll be a very occasional series. All right. So, oblesk, oblada, obladi. I love it. And the other thing that I wanted to work in here some way. The Wizard's Tower. Had a guy in my Discord server who recently lost his dad, like 3 months ago. And, he just mentioned his name was this. If anyone wants to like include his name in a game or something like that, that'd be cool. And he also mentioned like one of his favorite character names, which I really liked. And the character name was Zanzen, like this. All right, let's get a smaller pen. So that his father's memory might live on in our worlds. This will be the mystical tower of Zanzen. Or maybe it's the island of Zanzen. So, or maybe it's Zanzen's tower. So that in his memory, may he rest in peace. Hey, I want to thank you guys all for joining me here. Yeah, maybe I'll continue this on the patron stream tomorrow. So patrons, look forward to that. And if you want to check it out, just $2 a month can get you access to hours and hours of patron mapping streams. So check that out over at patreon.com/WASD20. But I will definitely be posting this map on the Discord server as well when I'm done with it. Maybe some progress shots here and there. But you should enter the mapping contest as well. Even if you don't consider yourself a very good artist, use it as an opportunity to challenge yourself and just try. Just try. That's what it's all about. Come on. So yeah, definitely go check it out. And what else should we talk about before I go? I see a question. Are you going to do a live stream drawing a city? Maybe. That'd be cool. I could do that sometime. Let's get a tentative date. I missed this tentative date, which was supposed to be last Sunday because it kind of snuck up on me. So it ended up being today instead of the 19th to 26th. But maybe we can plan on another one. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know. May 24, maybe. Don't hold me to it, okay? But if you want to tentatively mark your calendar, that will be the earliest it will be. And if I don't, yeah, and make sure you're following me on Twitter and stuff like that if you want to keep up on the news of when that will be. I'll try to give at least a week's notice. I hope you're doing okay wherever you are, staving off that isolation and that we all are maybe feeling a bit of. Reach out to your friends, play some D&D online, draw some maps and post it on the Discord server, jump into some Zoom calls with friends you haven't talked to in a while. Whatever you do, I hope you're taking care of yourself and yours, and hope you're not struggling too much. So be well, keep on world building and mapping. Thanks again to the patrons who make this stuff happen. Really appreciate it. Patrons like Connie and Michael and Patrick and too many other people I can't name. Just shouting out some names I see in the chat here. Jessica Walsh, who recently upped her pledge. Thanks, appreciate it. And yeah. So be well. Map like crazy. Get this map contest. You can get it. $10 drive-through RPG of a gift card. Okay, I'm going to stop blabbering now. Peace. Be well.